Many children in Wales continue to make basic errors in punctuation and grammar that are not addressed well enough through teacher feedback, a report says. Estin inspected schools for all ages in 2022 to 2023 to create an overview of what is working well across education. It also found attendance remains below pre-pandemic levels, raising concerns for the most deprived. The Association of School and College Leaders, SIMU, called it dispiriting. Its director, Ithne Hughes, said the report shows a lack of understanding of the pressures that school and college leaders are under and the context in which they are operating. The report was compiled by Estin's Chief Inspector Owen Evans, and is intended to provide a timely overview of what's working well and what needs to improve across education and training. Looking at primary schools, it said, similarly to last year, in too many schools, pupils do not write at length frequently enough and make basic errors in grammar and punctuation that are not addressed well enough through teacher feedback. Of secondary schools inspected, 18 or 64% of schools received a recommendation to improve the effectiveness of teaching. Welsh language skills of those at English medium primary schools remain a concern, while it also said too often teachers plan independent activities for pupils that do not challenge them sufficiently and do not help them to progress with their learning. Attendance also remains below pre-pandemic levels, with the report adding that the attendance of pupils who are at risk from deprivation is at a particular concern. Overall, 60 or 27% of primary schools received a recommendation to improve their curriculum to help develop pupils' skills, 46 or 21% were told to improve literacy skills, and 37 or 17% were for numeracy skills. Of 169 English medium primary schools inspected, 51 or 30% were identified as needing to improve pupils' Welsh language skills, in particular spoken Welsh. From the 50 Welsh medium schools visited, 9 or 18% were given the same recommendation. However, there were many plus points as well, such as oracy skills being increasingly strong in most schools, pupils showing effective digital skills, and teachers having a heightened sense of well-being since the pandemic. In the same period, 28 secondary schools were inspected, with a report on these saying in the majority of schools, shortcomings in provision mean that pupils do not develop their numeracy skills well enough across the curriculum. It also said at most of the schools, pupils do not have enough progress in their Welsh language skills or their understanding of Welsh culture and heritage. However, the report also said as a result of well-planned, engaging teaching, many pupils develop their subject understanding and literacy skills appropriately across the curriculum. A few pupils make strong progress. It also said most schools had developed a clear vision for the new curriculum for Wales and were experimenting appropriately with new approaches. ASCL, which represents 24,000 school workers across the UK, said a series of reflective questions at the end of the report was not enough to solve the many problems facing education in Wales. Wales Director Hughes said these summaries make only passing references to the pandemic and fail to mention the cost of living and school funding crisis that continue to have such an impact on teachers, leaders, pupils and parents. Failing to contextualise serious issues such as attendance and putting the blame on school leaders is hugely demoralising. This ignores the efforts being made to address this in the schools and the fact that parents, local authorities and national government all have roles to play in improving attendance.